Welcome, guys and gals, back to the Barry Charles Footy Show. Yes, indeed, we're here for the big news in rugby league. And in today's video, we're going to talk about Shane Flanagan being the Dragons coach, New South Wales fallout, and the NRL preview show. Right here, right now, at the Barry Charles Footy Show. Let's get to it. Shane Flanagan. Yes, he will be the new Dragons coach for 2024. Is it a wise decision or complete flop? Well, let's have a look at the negatives right here. You could argue that he's old school and they just got rid of an old school coach in Anthony Griffin. The drug scandal at the Sharkies. Has he paid his dues? Does he deserve another coaching gig? This is all stuff people are going to talk about, especially if the Dragons start losing again in 2024. But for me, I think he is the saviour. I believe he could turn them into a powerhouse again. And one thing I've heard from, and from my many interactions with Shane Flanagan, is he's a very pleasant man and he has a great man management. His skills are up there with the Bennetts and the great Craig Bellamy. So for me, as you know, the Dragons have done no good since Bennett's left. So this is where what's going to happen here for you Dragons fans. There is going to be a clear out of the joint and who's some of the players they should look at signing, who not. There's a lot of opportunities, but I'm just going to give you a bit of a scenario. It doesn't mean this is what's going to happen at all, but this is just a way I would think about it if I was Flanagan. I think if you're looking at getting rid of some of the old school feelings in this joint, you got to get rid of some of the current players, whether they'll do it. Moses Sully is at the top of my list of getting rid of. The way he joked around in the press conferences and saying that he came here for the money, to me, it's see you later. Get rid of it. It can become a cancer in your club. I think that's one reason to get rid of him. Jack DeBellin, he's been a good servant for the club, but obviously he had those issues for a long time, and I believe it's been a big hangover off this club. Even though he's still playing pretty good footy, I think it's time for him to say bye-bye, and I think there's going to be another one. Moses Imbai is an interesting one. To me, he's Mr. Reliable. He can do a few things, but he's not a master of any, which is probably an interesting one. You can keep him, but maybe you can look at a Connor Watson type player to replace him as an option there. Obviously, Jack Byrne and Jaden Sewer. If I was Flanagan, I'd be trying to keep these two and trying to get the best out of them because they do have a lot of talent. Whether that comes to fruition, time will tell. Rawala, I think he's another player that probably needs to go. He's just not consistent enough for me. And this gets to my number one target if I was Shane Flanagan. And I give this guy a bit of, he should be out of the New South Wales team, but he is still a very good player. Jerome Luai, if I was the Dragons, I'd be going all in on this man. I'd be going over $1 million. Boom. Let's go. You're coming here. You pay with Ben Hunt, and let's get going. Ben Hunt is obviously going to retire in the next, after probably 2 more years. So Jerome Luai can be their foundation player. I think he'll take unders at Penrith, but I think Jerome Luai, if he was given a big play, he might think about coming to the Dragons. He would be a big hit. But more realistic options, Sam Walker, but would you play him at 6? Possibility. And obviously Luke Brooks is on the open market at the moment. But don't be surprised if Kyle Flanagan ends up there. Forward pack, I think they need some experience, but they also need some real grunt up the middle. But I don't be surprised if like a Dale Finucane type player goes there, whether Wade Graham, they could just sign him for 1 season just to get their experience and professionalism in there. Teague Wilton's coming off contract. Do they look at Braden Trindle as well? He's another option in the halves. To get more grit into this team is up the middle. They got to find some players up the middle. They need the Tomalolos, the Tinos, the Painhouses. They need to find the next big thing. If they can find that, you're going to see some more ingredients. And obviously, fullback's another issue. And do they believe in Tyrell Sloan, or can they find someone out in the open market? That's obviously a question Shane Flanagan has to answer if they're going to deliver for the Dragons. But it's a good thing for the Dragons. They finally settled on the coach, and I'm glad for you because I think he is the right man for the job. Just a bit of New South Wales news. Nicho Hynes I hope there's a lot of support and guidance around him at the moment. He's going to need it. But putting this out there, he'll be back in the team for game 3 if New South Wales lose. So I wouldn't get too down on New South. I'd expect him to be straight back in. And Bradford could be on his way out. Walker getting a phone call was interesting to me. They suggest to me you were in the team until the injury, which maybe would have mean Reynolds would have got selected. So interesting thoughts there, but it's going to be too late in hindsight. They could have maybe still picked Walker, who knows. So that's just a little bit around New South Wales. Personally, for me, or for the Hynes situation, as I talked about it in my other video, I think he should play lock, or at least come off the bench and play lock. He has the class and to get around the field, run around, do a roaming commission like Tom Travojevic, and play like what the Queenslanders do with Ponga, Cronk, Cherry Evans, and Ben Hunt currently. They just continue to tune out players that play hooker or play a different position and then go into a lock role. That's what New South Wales should have done. They haven't, even though they do have Reece Robson who will play that sort of role. So I'm not saying they haven't completely gone that way, but I still think Nicho Hynes could have brought more in the attack side for New South Wales. Let's get to the footy. Yes, Friday night football sees the Cowboys versus the Panthers. Now the Cowboys have quite a few out too. Valentine Haynes, Murray Talagi, Jeremiah Nanai, and Reece Robson. So yeah, they got so many good players out, and the Panthers as well. Obviously Nathan Cleary's injured, but Crichton possibly could play. Not sure what the go was there. And obviously the Jerome Luai, Liam Martin. So for me in this game, the Cowboys and the Panthers, I'm gonna just go out there and say Panthers will get it done. They just seem to do it, and Panthers seem to just find a way to win. And if they continue, I know there's no Luai anything, but I'm gonna go the Panthers here with 10 points. I just think they just defensively are too good, and the Cowboys I think they did get a good one last week, but I think they'll get a reality check here. Knights versus the Roosters. No Tedesco. Sandor Smith goes into number 7, and Joey Manu, the fullback. I think that's going to be good for the Roosters here. Joey Manu, a fullback. I think he'll bring a different sort of game, and he can be outstanding at fullback. Knights, obviously, Kalen Ponga. Missing Tyson Frisell. This is another tough one for me, but I'm sticking on the ship of the Roosters. Are going to get a win at some point, and I'm going to think they'll bounce back here and win by 10 points. I think Joey Manu could be the man of the match there. Eels versus Manly. Obviously, no Mitchell Moses, no Dylan Brown. And Manly side, obviously, no Cherry Evans and Tommy Turbo. This is no Junior Paulo for the Eels. This is going to be a big game here for both teams. But King Guffo's in there. Manly haven't travelled good away this season. And I'm torn in this game. Because I believe in Manly. I believe Manly can do it, but their away record has been so bad. And no Tommy Turbo, no thing. But I'm going to tip Manly. No confidence, but I think Manly can get it done. 6 points. I've probably just been silly picking them, but that's the way it is. Tigers versus the Storm. Well, obviously no Lou Brooks. Tigers can't win. It's as simple as that. Storm obviously got Cameron Munster, Harry Grant, Xavier Coates out. So Christian Welsh suspended. So this is evened up the scores here. This is an interesting game. I'm still again I'm key game for the away teams this week. I'm gonna make it 4 in a row. The Storm to me should win, but I'm not confident. Storm have gone in and out of games this season. But the Storm by 7 for me. But Buller, I like what I'm seeing out of Buller. He's playing very good football for the Tigers. And the last game on Sunday, the only game on Sunday, the Sharks and the Bulldogs. Who's going to win this? The Sharkies. The Sharkies bounce back factor. They should win. They need to win. The Bulldogs do have Burton, so that's a good thing. The Sharks have Nicho Hynes, and I expect the big bounce back factor here. And I think the Sharks Might actually win big here. I'm going to go the Sharks by 20. I think the Sharkies might get it done. Well, that's me here at the Barry Charles Footy Show for the NRL preview for this round. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you at the next video.